Greetings, I'm Ron.
I'm Nancy. Welcome to our basement train layout in Rochester, New York.
And a couple of introductory remarks. The layout dimensions are about 25 by 32 feet. And of course, being in Rochester, we run NCE wireless. Most of the scenery is finished, so you will see most of that. I'm still working on some of the urban areas, and you'll see at the end some urban areas that are not quite finished, and of course may never be finished. So let's get going. What else do we need to say?
I do some of the writing for the operating sessions,
Oh yes.
and Ron does just about everything else. He's been doing this. This layout is about 19 years old, but he's been doing other layouts almost since birth.
Almost, but not quite. And what else? Okay, once again, let's get going. Thank you. Greetings. We're going to do a little train watching on the Rondemont and West Shore Railroad. We've got a freight at the end of the yard going to be heading eastbound at the hill. She's going to go ahead one block. And wait for the pusher to tack on. The railroad's time frame is 1977. When, as a young adult, we did a lot of our train watching, and also there was a lot of variety in early Conrail. Most cars have been weathered using tan pastels, but we still have a little bit of work to go. Rondemont and West Shore is taken from my initials, my name, Ronald Walter Stacy, and my wife wanted a railroad taken from her initials, Nancy Jean DeRickey. So one Christmas I presented her with a decal lettered car for the New Jersey and Delaware. She was thrilled, and it was just one more romantic gift that I gave her. The signals are designed and wired by Bill Carr. They are JMRI technology, and they work quite flawlessly, actually. And here comes the pusher. As typical in the 70s, mixture of motive power was second generation and first generation. Looks like we've got the green light to get going. It's going to be a 2.6% grade. The engines are going to be starting on. We're going over the Allegheny River. Just to give you a little sense of the river. And it looks like the pushers are doing their work. We're going to take a look at a train coming off the Conrail Interchange. There's also Conrail Interchange at the west end of Pittsburgh Yard. Okay, here we are at the interchange, and we're waiting for the signal to get on the RWS trackage. As you can see, the signal is Pensy signal, former Pensy trackage, now Conrail. Whoop. There it goes. So he's got the clear signal. What I love about this era is you get a mixture of new Conrail and really junky Penn Central. Haven't had the heart to weather the I Love New York boxcar. And the Penn Central caboose. Here's a commuter station, Guffney's Ferry. Pittsburgh into the 1970s had two commuter trains, both Pittsburgh and Lake Erie. And a little bit like the New York Central along the Hudson River, the trains go under a walkway. Here's a commuter stopped at the station heading into Pittsburgh. You'll notice that this is a Trainmaster, which were used in commuter service in the 70s on the Southern Pacific Railway. Trainmasters were versatile in so many ways, and for commuter service they had a quick pickup. So we're going to demonstrate a medium pickup. Not to confuse you, but we've moved further west over the summit just to give you a little variety. This train is eastbound heading toward Pittsburgh. And we're at one of the last wood trestles in the east. And it's become quite a favorite spot for rail fans. This bridge is scratch built, and this is the third layout that it's seen. I built it back in the mid-1970s. If you're modeling the mountains of Pennsylvania, I suppose you have to have a coal mine somewhere. And there it is. A couple of Alcos ready to do a little switching at the mine. And here comes the van train. On the other side of the hill, it's on this side of the hill, it's a little less steep, about a 1.5% grade. While we're here, I thought I'd give you an idea of the paint schemes. This is the original paint scheme from the 1940s, obviously influenced by Lehigh Valley. And like many railroads, in the 1970s, they came up with a more modern style paint scheme. And this was influenced by Rio Grande speed lettering. The colors are Lehigh Valley Scale Coat Cornell Red, which is not correct for Lehigh Valley, but it's a nice color anyway. I did the original artwork for the decals back in the late 70s and had them printed by Donald Manlick, and I've been satisfied with them very much over the years. We showed you a few minutes ago the oldest bridge on the layout. Now you can take a look at the newest bridge on the layout. And the van is drifting downwards. Here we are at the summit. And we're about ready to cut off the helper. Some railroads cut off the helper on the fly. And he's going to start drifting down the hill. Just to give you a little idea of the Pittsburgh yard in conclusion. That's the Iron City Brewery you're seeing. And if you think there's a couple of cardboard warehouse mock-ups there, you are correct. We got to do something about those someday. And there's the station. There were several railroads in the 70s that did not opt into Amtrak, including the Southern and the Rio Grande and a couple of others. And the R&WS is one of them. So this is the last long-haul train pulling out of the station, heading east. It's called the Nancy Jean. After you know who.